Sup, students? Welcome to With You, where we seek to grow deeper in our relationship together with God. Because even when we're not with you, we're with you.
We're your hosts, Tony and Phoebe.
Yesterday, Tony unpacked the main point of Matthew 4, verses 1 through 11, which was, we are his because he is faithful. And today is Wednesday, which means we get to look at why this passage matters to us, how we can apply it to our own lives.
So Phoebe, what does Jesus' faithfulness in the desert wilderness in Israel 2,000 years ago mean for us today in Long Beach, California?
Well, as we talked about on Monday, the story of Israel wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, Israel failed over and over and over again at being faithful to God. But it was Jesus, then 2,000 years ago from now, is Jesus in that same wilderness that was victorious, that succeeded, that was faithful to God over and over again, even in the midst of temptation. He was the better Israel, and he is sinless. He is perfectly holy. He is without flaw. He never sinned. And so what is so cool is that Jesus actually represents us before God now. And this is the shift, that we are no longer defined by our failures, but rather by Jesus's faithfulness. And this is the good news of the gospel, that our failure is no longer our primary identity. It is Jesus's victory that is our primary identity. Tony, would you read Hebrews 4, verses 14 to 16 for us?
Yeah, let's take a look. Since then, we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God. Let us hold fast our confession. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need.
We did absolutely nothing to deserve this grace that was extended to us by Jesus. Absolutely nothing. It was all Jesus. It was all Jesus's part. He was the one to resist temptation. And then he was the one to go to the cross and take on the punishment of our sin, which was death. And because of that, he represents us. Jesus represents us before God as perfect, and therefore we are forgiven of all of our sins, past, present, and future. Wouldn't you like that freedom? Wouldn't you like to live in the freedom of forgiveness? What would it look like if you actually did live in the freedom of forgiveness that has been extended to you? I want you to take a moment and think back on your week. Think back on a moment when you fell into temptation, that you actually sinned. It's a big word, but we do it all the time. When did you maybe eat beyond your fullness in order to be distracted from something? Or when you excluded someone from something that you were doing because you were afraid of losing the friends that you were doing that with? Or maybe you put forth the effort to make someone experience loss or pain or loneliness because you were feeling those things and you wanted them to feel that too. Or maybe one was a moment when you did everything you could to make yourself look better, and in doing so, you neglected an opportunity to extend kindness to someone. We get to bring these moments of falling short, of failure, of sinfulness, and we get to bring them before the Lord, who has already forgiven you. He has already forgiven you, and he has taken the punishment of that sin on the cross. He has already taken that punishment, and we get to accept the forgiveness, and we get to actually step into the life of freedom that forgiveness brings. And in doing so, we are living into the truth that our primary identity is not our failures, but our primary identity is the victory, the faithfulness of Jesus. And that is such freedom.
Tomorrow we get to hear from our friend Brian Toe about how this story of Jesus' temptation in the desert wilderness has impacted him.
Now remember, let's be real with one another and before God as long as it's called today. It was great to be with you. Take care.